Hey everyone, welcome to Holistic Lifestyle Tips, Getting Real About the Woo Woo. I am Becky Russell, owner of Hope Essential, a wellness company, and I am an essential oil educator and a holistic lifestyle educator. I love to teach, and I believe knowledge is power, and I want to share what I've learned on my holistic journey the past 25 years, and I feel it served me well. I was not blessed with good genes, and I saw what traditional medicine did or did not do for my family, and I decided to go a different route. And I feel the holistic route has served me well. Uh, by all rights, I should be on all types of medication and be in doctor's offices, quite a bit. And none of that's happening as of now. I can't guarantee doing what I do will give you the same benefits, but it's sure worth a try, I think, because disease treatment to me is just not the answer. So my goal for doing everything, whether it's the essential oils or holistic lifestyle, is to uh, give people hope for a quality of life as they age. I want that for me. I want that for everybody. Hey, Megan. And so I do a episode every week, and I talk about emotional wellness, physical wellness, or spiritual wellness. Sometimes the subject encompasses all three. And holistic means treating the entire body, mind, body, and soul from the inside out, and not just treating symptoms. So my goal is to hopefully open your mind to other ways of approaching your health. And so I am excited about tonight. It's week 39, and we are going to talk about this book, The Five Love Languages. And it is by Gary Chapman. He is a marriage counselor. And I scheduled this topic over a month ago, having no clue that we might be quarantined with our loved ones. So it ended up being a very timely subject, I think, because this could be a good time if you don't already know your partner's love language. This could be a very trying time. And so this could be very helpful. And I would love to hear in the comments if you've heard of this book and if you know what your love language is. And, I can't believe I'm an actual published romance author. I have not read this book until this year. And I think there's just a contrary streak in me. I heard about it for over 15 years, but somehow 37 years of marriage, we figured it out. But I think it might have been easier if I had read this earlier. Highly recommend it. So basically, Mr. Chapman says that people speak different love languages. And after many years of marriage counseling, he's come up with these five. And he believes that once you identify what that love language is for you and your partner, that it's the key to a long-lasting, loving marriage. So, and I want to put in here that I believe this is important for, not just your loved one, your partner, your spouse, but kids, business partner, friend, any kind of relationship. I think if you know their love language, it will just make your relationship even better. So the five, before I get to the five love languages, here's some other little pointers he has. We've been led to believe that if we're really in love, it will last forever. But the reality is, once that falling in love part of it starts to fade, reality hits. And our real selves sometimes then are revealed. And that can be very shattering to some marriages. Some couples believe that the end of the in love, meaning that euphoria, when that ends, that means you just are doomed to a miserable life within the marriage, or you cut your losses and start over with someone else. but he has found that there is a third choice, and that is learning each other's love language, and then working toward building a new kind of relationship. So I will give you what the 5 love languages are: words of affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of service, and physical touch. So you may sort of know just from what I'm telling you what they are, what they are, but I'll give you a few examples. So words of affirmation could mean either compliments, praising someone for a good job, but it can also mean quality conversation. For instance, I know when I was an at-home mom, I would made a point of taking my husband to lunch once a month, maybe. And we had totally different conversations in those lunches away from everything than we did at home. And that was so cool to me. I really, really look forward to that. So quality conversation makes a difference. It's very important too. So then number 2, quality time. That again, that's my love language. And so meeting him for lunch like that was my, gave me satisfaction. And quality time also, if whatever passion you share, whether, my husband and I love hockey, so going to hockey games was fun, playing sports together, whatever it is. Then number 3, receiving gifts. It doesn't always have to be something grand, but just to show you're thinking of that person, and that you're thinking of them, you remembered them. As a romance writer, that was one thing that I always stressed in my books was, it doesn't have to be grand. It's just that those small things that really, really matter. Then number 4, acts of service. I'm pretty sure that's what my husband's love language is. On our first date, when he came to pick me up, it was Ohio and freezing cold, and he saw I had a jacket on, and he said, "It's really cold. You need your winter coat." And I said, "This is my winter coat." And he just sort of shook his head. And so we get down to the car. Here, his heater wasn't working. So he drove all the way back to his house to pick up his down coat to have me use it as so that I could wear his coat and be warm in the car. So that showed what he was made of right then. And he's always doing things to show acts of service. That's his thing. And his dad was the same way. And then number 5, physical touch. A lot of people go straight to, oh, that's just sex, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. Cuddling, hugs, massages, holding hands even. And again, I think we all want some of these things at some point, but it's what's the main thing? What is your main need? And if you're not sure what your love language is, there's 3 ways to sort of try to figure it out. He also has in the book, there's a quiz you can take to find out what your love language is. But if you just want to know real quick while we're talking, what does your spouse do or fail to do that hurts you most deeply? So the opposite of what hurts you most is probably your love language. And number 2, what have you most often requested of your spouse? The thing you have most often requested is likely the thing that would make you feel most loved. And then number 3, in what way do you regularly express love to your spouse? Your method of expressing is an indication of what makes you feel loved. So I'm always trying to get us to do, things just the 2. Of course, now we're retired and can be together anytime. But when we were younger with the small kids, it was so important to me to have time for just us. And that never was on his agenda. And so, um, and sometimes I think I may have overlooked the acts of service. I've always appreciated them, but it wasn't as important to me as the quality time. So I would love to know if you think this is helpful, and if you have any intention of checking out this book. Hi, Valentina. And so Valentina says gifts. Yep. And think about it. If you don't know what your partner's love language is, and you never address it, then you could say you think words of affirmation are that's your love language. That's what you need. So you're constantly telling your spouse, "I love you. You're amazing." Giving all these compliments and praise. But what they want is gifts. The words are not going to be enough. And then you're going to feel resentment and not understand, because that's what you need, is the words of affirmation. And she's just giving you thoughtful little gifts. And you're like, whatever, I just want to hear you love me. So I think this is super important. And if you're new in your relationship, maybe this doesn't register yet, but I think it should be required reading for every couple considering marriage, because it is so important to understand each other. And the more you understand what they need to be happy, the better your chances of a long, loving marriage. So I would love to know what you think, if you had an aha moment. And then also check out hopeessential.com, my website. I have a lot of holistic lifestyle tips there, and you can catch up on the previous videos from that. And also, I'm going to be hosting some Zoom coffee chats. I think I will be making changing the dates up a little bit. It's sort of a work in progress here, figuring out what a good time is for everyone. But we need to stay connected during this challenging time. So, take the precautions that we're being told to, but don't obsess. Don't, try to stay positive, and just don't panic. We're all in this together. We all matter. We're all connected, and we will get through this. So till next time, choose you, choose natural, choose now.